Doctor, is fat good or bad for you? I'm confused. I get this question all the time from my patients. Well, the fat metabolism is quite complex, but let me share a practical tip with you today. The answer is not so simple. It depends. It depends highly on an enzyme called LPL or lipoprotein lipase, which is an enzyme that is involved in a complex process that ultimately breaks down the dietary fat and turns, in the digestion and absorption of fats in the food, and ultimately conversion of that into the blood levels of fat, cholesterol or triglyceride. And it depends whether this LPL is active or not. Now, the activity of the LPL depends on the level of carbohydrate that is in the food. In other words, in a high carbohydrate context versus a low carbohydrate context, the activity of LPL is different because it's activated by insulin mainly. And insulin levels depend highly on the level of carbohydrate or starch that enters into your body with your food. In other words, so let's take an example. If you take McDonald's, for example, the same McDonald's and the amount of fat that's in the meat triggers the LPL differently, whether you take it with or without the buns or the fries. So if you remove the fries and the buns, that turns the same hamburger into a lower carbohydrate and starch level, which does not activate the LPL as much as whether you take it with the starch, with the fries and the buns. Because of the lower level of the starch and the carbohydrates, your insulin spike will be lower. Therefore, the LPL enzyme will not be as active. Therefore, the fat in a high context, in a high carbohydrate context, could be quite bad compared to the same amount of fat in a low carbohydrate context. I hope that helps you understand the complexity or a bit more about the metabolism of fat. If you're interested in more similar practical tips, sign up and become a H.E.A.T member for free at heatacademy.com. I'm pleased to have served you. Live your life with love, passion, and purpose. Until next time, so long.